Right guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. In this one I'm just going to be showing you how to replace your Shimano chain. So if you want to know how to do it, then I'll go ahead, let's run through the steps. Right, so when it comes to replacing your chain, how do you know when it's worn? So the best thing to do is get yourself one of these chain wear indicating tools. So there's various brands available and they're very simple to use. All you got to do is on the top of the chain there, is drop it in between the rollers like that, and then just apply a bit of pressure to the actual crank, so as it's putting some tension on the chain. Just drop it in and then lower it down, and if it just rests like that, then obviously it's not worn. It's got a gauge on there that tell you, some of them are say 0.50, so that's 0.5 of a millimetre, like this one's 0.75, so 0.75 of a millimetre and 1 millimetre if you turn it over to check it. So you start on the lowest one, so say yours is 0.5, just apply some pressure and then just drop it in, and if it rests on the top like that, you know it's nowhere near worn out yet. If it drops straight in, like I'm just about to show you, like that, you know that's at least 0.75 of a millimetre worn. So if you turn it over to the other side, which is 1 millimetre, and just drop that in like that, and it falls straight in, so you know that chain is definitely due for replacement. There's no doubt about it. So let's go ahead, let's remove the chain and get a new one on there. So this particular chain, this is a Shimano 11 speed chain. Now this has a master link or quick link in the chain. So what we do is you just get your master link pliers and just put them either side of the link like that, and then just squeeze them together to undo it. So if you squeeze them together, just hold both sides of the chain so it doesn't go flying off like that, and there it is, undone. So it'll be renewing the master link at the same time as well, so put a new one of those on. So once you've done that, you can just drop your chain off like that. So then we're ready to cut the new chain to length. So when you purchase a new chain, when it comes in the packaging, if you remove it, you'll see that it's got a coating on it. And that coating is just to prevent obviously corrosion while it's in the packaging. So what you want to do is take the chain then and then wash off, degrease that coating off of it to start with before you cut it to length. So I'll just clean this up and then we'll cut it down. So as you can see there, I'll just move that over. Obviously this side, this one is the worn out chain and this is the brand new one. You see how much that hole going through there is out of line with the new chain. So that's how much it's stretched in total. So we've got the chains, the new one and the old one, laid next to each other on the floor like that, so you can see what you're going to need to cut off. So obviously the old one will have stretched, like I've already shown, over time. So as you can see there, we need to just get rid of those links there and just cut it on that one. So this one there. So we'll get the chain braking tool out and we'll get that pushed through. Right, so we now know where we need to remove the pin from to get the required amount of links off of the chain. So you just get your chain braking tool, just back that off. So the chain's going to sit over that piece there, the silver piece, so just drop into place there. So just get hold of that, literally, you see that, just drop it in like that. So we need to remove that pin out of there. So just hold it in place, just do that up gently, making sure that you're pushing it through square. It's pushing right dead center of the pin like that. So once you just got it nipped into place there, you just start applying a bit of pressure to it. And they may take a bit of force to actually just get the pin initially moving. So if you hold on to it like that and just get it to go like that, it's just gone through, and then it should start to go through relatively easily once the pin starts to move. You just carry on pushing out. You say it's out, that's all the way through, and just back the tool off again like that, back it right out, and then just lift out the piece that you don't need and remove that, and you can see the pin just sat in there. There it is, just there. So being as we're putting a new master link in, obviously we need a male end of the chain on both ends. So the other end's got a male on it as well, like that. So you need two ends like that. If you was putting a new pin in and joining the chain, obviously then you would need a male end like that, and you was riveting it back together with a new pin. Then you need a female end on the opposite end, so it go together like that. Then you put your pin, push that through the chain. Obviously we're using a master link. Most new bikes now come with a master link just for ease of maintenance and etc, so they come with it already installed. So obviously we'll be putting a new master link in because that'll be worn just like the chain. So we just refit the chain. Now we've got it cut down. So because this is a new chain, obviously if you don't know the age of your rear cassette, how many miles it's done, etc, you're not sure, then if you fit a new chain and you find that in certain gears, it won't be all of them because they all wear at different rates, each sprocket, because you're not in one gear all the time, you tend to use a few of the gears more than you use others. If that's the case, then if you fit a new chain and you find that when you're pedaling, using some force on the pedals, you find that in a couple of gears or two or three it's just slipping, then that's because you need to replace your cassette as well as the chain. So if you find that, then it's time to put a new cassette on. Obviously it depends on the conditions, etc, but normally you'll get a few chains out of one cassette. Just depends on, you know, the conditions. Obviously if it's dry and you never use a bike in the wet or the bad weather, then because that's what ultimately wears the chain out, and the cassette is just all the grit and dirt off the road. So just put the master link back in. You can use your pliers either side of it just to open it up to engage it like that, or you can just put the link on the top there and then sit on the bike and just push down with your foot on the pedal and it'll open up the link and engage the link. That's another way of doing it. So once you've installed it, remember to re-oil the chain. You just want to put the chain lube just on the rollers themselves, just on the individual rollers of the chain. So once you've done that, then you're ready to ride. So I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more cycle related content. Till next one, ride safe and I'll see you then.